Hello, family. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well today. Family, people will pickpocket us and then tell us that we had a hole in our pocket. No, we didn't have no hole in our pocket. You just a professional thief. Yes. And then people love to say that they helped you build your house when they wasn't even in the state or the country when you was building your house. They didn't pick up one plywood to help you build your house, but they would take credit for building your house and wasn't even in the state or the country when you built the house. Then you have a Haitian woman that had an interview and called Black Americans dirty while she walked into the interview with a big old spot on her, big old nasty spot that clearly screams dirty. Yeah, so y'all already know what we got to do for the ones in the back. This video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyrights Acts in 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Yes, fair use. All rights and credits go directly to its rightful owner. This video is purely for fair use, opinion, and entertainment. Enjoy. And we also want to add that everything in this video is alleged. Yes. Salute, family. Please subscribe to the channel if you are not a subscriber already. Please hit the like button. It's free. I promise y'all it's free. Please hit the hype button. If you see it, it should be when you hit the like button, you might see the hype. If you don't see it, that means we used up our hypes for the week. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you to the replay gang. Thank you for everyone that's in the chat. Thank you to everyone that be in the comment section leaving a comment. Please like and share the video. Appreciate it. Sending love and hugs to you all. Sending shout outs and love to our moderators as well. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like button, family. Yes, it's greatly appreciated. We are getting ready to talk about the chick that said that, Black Americans was dirty. And then we also getting ready to talk about Tiffany Henyard. Yes. Tiffany Henyard is back in the house. She said she's back. Okay. And then we're going to talk about when we had the Mardi Gras in Mobile, Alabama, and New Orleans, we ran across some Haitians that was just telling everyone at a booth that they basically built, created, and the culture of New Orleans and everything came from them. So we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of tea to talk about, family. But let's start with the hen, because this here hen is basically shaking in her boots, family. Yeah, she's now doing a video. And she says she's coming back. She's getting ready to get back on social media and, basically dog the Dolton town, the Dolton village and the township. Okay, she is pissed off. Tiffany says she's back on the media. Okay, and she wants to explain her criminal behavior before the feds basically come pick her up. So this is Tiffany. Yes, the super mayor, who was the super mayor. She wanted to explain and speak about the $33 million lawsuit that the trustees walked out a meeting when they were supposed to settle that lawsuit. Okay, so evidently, not only is the bank lawsuit down that Dolton put down on it. Y'all know in the last video we had talked about the Village of Dolton has now sued the Fifth Third Bank or the Third Fifth Bank or whatever about Tiffany stealing $1.9 million. So it's given, family, that when Tiffany saw that lawsuit had dropped down and she knew that it was because of her, and she knew that once that heats up, the heat will be on her very hard. Because, see, you don't play with banks, okay? And she knew and she felt that, man, I'm going to be in some heat pretty soon. So Tiffany is shaking in her boots, and now she just wants to come out on her social media now and start explaining, okay, about, they did this. They didn't pay for $33 million, and they did this. But the thing about it, family, Tiffany talked about everything in this here social media rant. She talked about everything but that bank lawsuit. Yeah, see, Tiffany went on about a 25-30 minute rant on her social media, but what Tiffany didn't do is talk about that lawsuit that just dropped on the bank about her using one signature when she really was supposed to have two signatures. And she took about $1.8 million out of the taxpayer's bank account. And what did she do with that money? Where did that money go? But see, she know that once this lawsuit heats up, she also is going to be in a lot of trouble. So Tiffany did a rant because she's nervous. But she didn't mention that lawsuit. Everything else she wanted to talk about, this, she wanted to tell people how to vote and what to look for when they vote and all that stuff there. But she would never touch on that there lawsuit that the bank has on them from the Village of Dolton. So let's just listen to a little bit, because she's back dogging the Village of Dolton, Jason House and his administration. She's back dogging the administration at the Thornton Township, and it's just giving nervous, shaking in her boots. That's exactly what it's giving. It's giving that Tiffany is nervous, and she needed to come out and say something and do a quick rant right quick. You can tell when she's nervous, she go to running her mouth. See, when she thought things was all good, and that she thought that she can start this here new life, and that everything was quiet for a minute, she was quiet. But boy, when the Village of Dolton dropped down that lawsuit on that bank about Tiffany taking $1.9 million without the proper approval, and the bank let her do it, Tiffany is back running her mouth with her Timu teeth. Yes, check it out, family. Let's check out what Tiffany is saying.
I know y'all want to hear this.
We really don't, but go ahead.
Different lies out there. So much misinformation out there. And you know, it's been a minute since I went live.
Yeah, we know.
God, it's been a minute since I went live. You know.
You hear say it's been a minute since she went live. Yes, it has been a minute since Tiffany been live, but now Tiffany is nervous because it's been a minute since somebody's suing a bank because of you. So now she got to come out and talk. She's nervous. This is a nervous rant. Anyway, it's been a minute. Don't try to make it look like you was all busy and all that. The reason why we haven't seen you. We haven't seen you because you wasn't really feeling all that nervous right now. You had a lot of heat. You looking over your shoulders, but it wasn't enough to bring you to the internet. But with this bank lawsuit, that's enough to bring you to the internet. So don't try to play on our tops. We know exactly why you come back.
Myself building, and you guys just can't keep my name out your mouth. I get it. Your clicks and your views, and everybody want to see what's going on. I get it. Y'all can't make no money without Tiffany Henyard.
Okay, so Tiffany got this thing about people trying to make money off her or whatever. Child, don't nobody make no money off you, okay? Don't get it twisted. Don't try to make yourself more important than what you really are. But my thing is, Tiffany is saying, oh, I get it. Yeah, I just want to keep bringing my name up. No. The lawsuits keep bringing your name up. The feds keep bringing your name up. Yes. It's not us. So when the feds talk about you, when these lawsuits be dropped on top of your head, we talk about it. It's not that you are important or you the gravy to everybody's stick. Okay? Nah. It's just that we report on the news, especially trifling news. Yeah, so don't get it twisted. You're not that important, sugar pie.
I get it. But y'all need to stop, because I'm suing for defamation of character now. I'm not a politician. So, let that be what it be. But we about to go over this stuff. Okay, guys. Here we go. Let me see. Let me turn this around real quick. Okay. Hey, let's talk. So, let's talk about the $33 million lawsuit for the Village of Dolton. A lot of y'all don't even know what's going on. A lot of y'all didn't even know what had happened, right? Y'all do know this lawsuit was way before me. And that's what they don't tell y'all, right? They just blame Tiffany for everything. The cat walk across the street, oh, it's Tiff's fault. Somebody stuck in on the E-way, it's Tiff's fault. You know what I'm saying? They just say it. But so you understand what is going on in the $33 million lawsuit, that was during Riley Rogers' tenure, when he was mayor. All this happened. And that's what people don't understand when you take the seat and you in office, that a lot of these things you inherited. And it's on your table. But I just can't stand with punk mayors stand up there and say, oh, it's Tiffany. Since when? Y'all need to fact check. And that's another reason I'll tell y'all, fact check everything that's going on in the Village of Dolton. Because a lot of y'all been calling me, and now y'all see what's going on. It ain't green on the other side, huh? It's not, huh? But that's what I was trying to tell y'all before y'all sat here and bought into the lies and all the dumb stuff that everybody was saying with no facts. They just talk because they can, right? That's what a lot of people do. So let's give you a little more structure. The $33 million is strictly the trustees' fault. Let me tell you how. Let me explain. So when we inherit the debt or the lawsuit from Riley Roger, because I don't hear y'all drag him, talking about him, saying why he didn't do this and what's going on with him. He is the person that was in charge. He was the mayor. So when we had our board meetings, they have several times tried to settle and go over different things with the Village of Dolton. It was this one particular board meeting, and you can go research it. I ain't got to lie about it, because I do a lot of talking right when at them board meetings, if y'all was really listening. If you go check the board meeting out, you will see that we strictly said, hey, let's go downstairs and we're going to talk about it, because we had to go on executive session. For those of you that don't know what executive session is, it's when a board goes down and talk about settlements with anybody, any and everybody. And we come back up and say, hey, we agree to pay XYZ, we agree to do whatever it is that we was down there talking about. Because we got to...
Okay, Tiffany rambling about these $33 million lawsuit that dropped on top of their head and all this type of stuff right here. Tiffany getting nervous about that, and she getting nervous about that bank lawsuit that just dropped on the bank, which really is indirectly hitting her too. So now she's nervous, okay? My thing is, okay, about them 33 million. Tell us where those receipts at that you supposed to have gave everybody for 5 years now. Where's those receipts? The feds been asking about them. The village been asking about them. The township been asking about them. The public been asking about them. The accountant been asking about them. Everybody been asking about the receipts. You ain't fucked them up yet. Why Tiffany ain't talking about that? She going on this $33 million rant. And then gonna try to tell everybody, I'll tell y'all how it go. At this point, we can't trust nothing you say, because you ain't told us how the receipts go yet. Where's those at? Anyway, and always talking about, oh, I know y'all keep talking about me because I'm clickbaiting. Y'all need the money. Baby, people make money on the side of social media. You didn't know? Social media is not the only way the majority of people on social media make their money. You just going on a rant and talking like you important. And we just be sitting up here wanting to hear your lies, because that's all you going to do is lie. Because you ain't telling the truth. But anyway, let's finish hearing her tell this janky excuse.
In the public eye of what we're going to do. So when we went downstairs, well, we didn't go downstairs and back up. We didn't go downstairs. The board meeting happened, and as we're up there talking and going over different things, Mary Avon, yes, that clown, she tells the board to get up and walk out. The dumbass board gets up and walks out of the board meeting. Now remind you, this is a crucial day. It's crucial because we had to literally go in the basement, go into closed session, and talk about this lawsuit. And they was willing to settle for, I think it was like $3 to $5 million or $1 million to $5 million, somewhere in that range. I'm just giving you a range because I don't remember the exact amount quoted right now.
Tiffany, you can't remember the exact amount because it's giving lies all over the place. You not gonna owe nobody $33 million and they want to settle for $1 million or $5 million. What? See, Tiffany still think everybody's stupid. Because she been over there living a fake new life. She's still thinking that everybody else is stupid. If you owe somebody $33 million, and you come to a settlement, or they are willing to come with a settlement with you, they are not going to settle with $1 million and you owe them $33 million. They are not going to settle with $5 million and you owe them $33 million. Boy, the janky lies are real.
The board got up and walked out. So at the board meeting, you hear me saying, hey guys, why would y'all walk out? We have everyone here. You had the insurance company was there. You had they lawyer, our lawyers. There was so many lawyers in the goddamn building. I'm like, well, goddamn, what's going on? And they walked out of the building. So I apologize to the insurance company. I apologize to their lawyer because it was just wasted time. Because I know they're on someone's clock getting paid to come and basically do nothing because nothing happened. The next day, it was court time. That's how crucial this moment was. They go before the judge, and of course, you know what they asked. Hey, what happened with Dolton? Did y'all settle? Did y'all come up with an agreement? What we gonna do? And of course, you know they say no. We don't have an agreement. The board walked out. So if they walk out of a board meeting where they're supposed to handle the people's business, but did not handle the people's business, and that's what I mean about politics. That's why I call it politics, right? Because they tricking y'all into, point fingers, all that point finger stuff. Stop. Y'all had the opportunity to fix it. You had the opportunity to make it right, and y'all chose not to by playing these silly ass games with the public's money, and y'all did that. So own up to that. And that's the proof. You go find a board meeting or whatever you need to do. You know who else be having board meetings? Go check on Trinidad's. Trinidad's be having all the tea. When I say the tea, all
Tiffany,
the tea.
tell us your tea. That's what we want to know.
Left the board meeting and went next door to
Tiffany want us to go and find out tea all over the world. She will send us over there to Dubai to get the tea. When she got the tea, she was the one, the mayor. She was the one, the supervisor. You supposed to have all the tea. Don't be trying to send us all over the world. You tell us about the tea, sister. You are the one who got all this stuff started. You are the one with subpoenas stacked on top of your head right today. You got the tea. You got the receipts. We want to see yours. Talking so fast and loud and excited, that's when you know somebody lying.
To the bar. Now, where they do that at? Dolton, clearly, right? Why would y'all leave a board meeting when you're supposed to be there to handle business? You get elected to take care of the business. I don't care about your opinion, your feelings, your emotions as it relates to what you think. It's for y'all. Y'all had the board. So the four of them, that's why y'all need to learn how this game works. 4 people can control everything. I don't care about the title part of, oh, it's a mayor, it's it is. No. It don't work like that. It's just like how the government is now. The president, you still got the Congress and the Senate. Same concept. It's the board of trustees that runs the village because they vote on everything. And if they vote on something or don't vote on something, it moves or it don't move. And that's where y'all get it all mixed up in y'all mind when y'all point finger, that person. No. The board of trustees are the reason why the $33 million still exists to this day. Because I was fighting tooth and nail trying to make sure the village was not held accountable for that debt. And they walked out of the board meeting on that day where we were supposed to settle.
First of all, why is they $33 million in debt? Where is that $33 million? See, let's talk about that. Damn the settlement and this, that. Where is the $30 million at? Where is the receipts for them? That's all we want to know. See, Tiffany is going off with saying, I'm going to tell y'all how this works. See, you got a trustee, well, you got 4 trustees, then you got 1 mayor, and then over at the township, you got about 4 trustees, and then you got 1 supervisor. And I'll tell you how it works. See, 1 vote, and then if somebody vote against it, and then it's the majority vote for it, it passes. And then if the majority don't vote for it, and then 1 do vote for it, it won't pass. We know all that already, girl. We want to know where's all this money at. Why is the village negative $5 million in the hole anyway? Tell us something that we want to know. Don't tell us something we already know. See, this is how people will gaslight you, flip-flop you, and try to act like they teaching you something that you already know. Tiffany is a fast talker. Yes, she is. Everything she's talking about is goulash garbage. It has nothing to do with where is the $33 million. Where is the 1.9 million that they're looking for that you took out of the bank? Where is the receipts that can explain why the village is negative $5 million in the hole? Oh, you don't want to talk about that? Oh, my bad. I'll let you go off.
Today, in closed session. So I just wanted to clear that up because there's so much misinformation.
She ain't clearing nothing up.
And a lot of times people don't want to hear the truth because you can't handle the truth. That's the problem. But if y'all just sit here and open your ear gates and pay attention and listen, you will hear some other than the hate that y'all got for a person. Because I don't do nothing but school y'all the game. I don't do nothing but I can't stand the word transparent because everybody use it out of content. I don't do nothing but give you the facts. I don't do nothing but lead you to the person for you to drink it. But if you don't drink it, guess what? That's on you. So I just wanted to clear it up once again about the $33 million lawsuit that's in the Village of Dolton. It happened way before me, and it still lingered, of course, because you basically adopt.
Tiffany said she wanted to clear up the $33 million. Did anybody get a clear understanding of the $33 million of why it's missing? I'll wait. Only thing she told us is that they got ready to do a settlement, and the trustees walked out of the settlement, so there goes the $33 million settlement. She didn't explain nothing about the $33 million, the receipts of the $33 million. Where is it?
Or you get or inherits, whatever word you want to use, all of the lawsuits from the previous administration. And we got tons of lawsuits from Riley's administration, a ton of lawsuits from Shaw's administration. But they don't tell y'all that. They don't break it down. They don't educate y'all on any of this. So I just wanted you to be crystal clear on what's what and what's to come. So next, I want you guys to pay attention to this one other thing. Hold on 1 second, because y'all on here. And I hope y'all listening. I hope you're listening. So look, let me tell you this. Term limits in voting A lot of times people don't understand what to do, who to vote for, or whatever. A lot of y'all go with status quo, and that's where I feel y'all mess up at. Status quo don't always mean that's the best person for you. I think you guys should start researching the candidates that you're voting for and pay attention to their platform. Pay attention to what they want to do for you. Because at the end of the day, it's up to you of who you place and put into office. Because it's going to affect you in the long run. And a lot of y'all don't like to vote because you feel like it don't affect you. But eventually it does. And when it does, now you want to complain. Nobody want to hear that. You should have did something about it when you had the opportunity to do so. Make sure y'all get out and vote. I posted a palm card, and everybody got an opinion about somebody on there. Look, I could care less. It's up to you to pick who you want to vote for and do your own research, or if you felt they did something to you or whatever, don't vote for them. But I don't care. I don't got no stakes in that. I could care less. All I'm doing is showing you who's running, and majority of the people that's on there is unopposed. For those who know what unopposed is, they are running with no competition. So whether you vote for them or don't vote for them, they will be in office. Just so you understand how.
So Tiffany trying to tell everybody what they already know about how to vote, what to do, all that right there. She still ain't said nothing about why did she take $1.8 or $9 million out of the bank? And where's the receipts? And why did she do that with one signature and not two signatures? And who did she know inside of that bank that allowed her to do it? Did you go in there and act a fool, or did you just have one or two or three homies that worked inside of that bank that allowed you to do it and put their self in jeopardy as well? Because that bank gonna come after the person who let you cash it, and then they coming after both of y'all. Or if it's 2 or 3 person inside that bank, they gonna come after the 2 or 3 and you. Tell us about that. She's trying to tell everybody how the voting process go. We already know.
Okay. Those that do have competition, you have to pick who you feel is best. Or like I told y'all, it's some bums that was looking for crumbs. They on there. Do not vote for them. Not neither one of them. Make sure you skip them. Because I don't like how they did that seat over in Thornton Township, where I was your supervisor at. They stole the entire election. Thieves. That's why I said bums looking for crumbs, as you can see. Because they got the whole Saudi that went with it that all y'all was crying about, but I don't hear y'all mouths now. Now that he done stole the money, and now he gets the salary of supervisor, and I'm talking about Thornton Township, I'm talking about Napoleon that does not live in Thornton Township, but yet he's your supervisor and he's your committeeman. But yet, guess what? I don't hear y'all saying nothing about it. I don't see how y'all was coming to board meetings attacking the woman, but that's why I be telling y'all the difference in politics. Y'all attack a woman so quick before y'all go and say the same nonsense to the guys that's in office. I don't see that. And that's what I mean about, again, do your research. But pay attention to who's in office. Pay attention to what is going on, what is being said. Because there's so many lies and so much misinformation that it ain't even funny. And no, I don't have time to entertain everything else because I'm too busy building and growing what I have. Okay? Just so you understand that. And those that don't know me, I always been...
What you building and growing? Because my stomping ground is ATL. That place over there you talking about is a flop. Yes, it is. What you building and growing? And then, you trying to call these people bums for crumbs, or crumbs for bums, or however you want to say it, but it's given that you didn't follow proper protocol when you took $1.8 million out of that bank. Now, you went in there and you snatched $1.8 million out of them bank account. It's given you was in there getting stuff which make you bum for crumbs. Yeah. Because, see, when you call somebody else bum for crumbs, then you went in the bank and did the same thing. So you was in there fetching for bums for crumbs. Yeah. That's what it's giving.
Entrepreneur. Always been a hustler. I'm always going to do great. I'm always going to land on my feet.
Oh, we know
always.
you're a hustler.
Just know that.
Because the money
and
gone.
Thank you for constantly talking about me, coming on the page, because haters need love too, but obviously you like me enough because you keep following me. I don't follow people I don't like. I'm not commenting on nobody's page that I don't care for. So I don't understand why y'all come in the comments, comment on things y'all know nothing about. Nor do you live here. I get a lot of that too.
Well, my thing is, people want to say we don't live in Dolton and all that kind of stuff like that. Our tax dollars, see, people need to get that straight. Because that is a place, Illinois, especially just Illinois, period, has gotten a lot of federal relief that went all over y'all state. Which means that's our tax dollars too, so we have a right to talk about it. See, that's what I'm saying about people really don't know politics like they say they do. Because if they did, that wouldn't even come out of their mouth. Tell your state to stop asking for federal relief. But they ask for federal relief because people like Tiffany, who takes and thieves out of the state. And they take so much until it puts their state in a crucial financial standards. So then they have to ask for federal relief funds for certain things, which comes out of our tax dollars that's in the federal government. So let me explain that to everybody. Yeah. And while she talking about, I don't follow people, but everybody follow me. And, everybody talking about me. Stay your ass off the internet then. If you don't want nobody to talk about you. That's how that works. It's easy.
So now I'm pretty sure that a lot of y'all get that on y'all pages as well. People that don't live here, people that want an opinion or got something negative to say about something that they know nothing about. Just ignore the haters, but the haters make you great. So thank you so much, right? Next, I want you to understand, on the ballot, there is a referendum question. Let me tell you how dirty these bombs are. They basically put on there a referendum question, and this is what y'all ain't paying attention to. The referendum question states, hey, should you allow them to get 16 more years in office in the exact same seat? And for those of you that understand the lingo, it says 4 more terms, right? 4-year terms. Just so you know what a term is, you get 4 years, right? And then they vote you again. And then again. Dolton currently, right now, have term limits. Okay? Follow me, people. Dolton has term limits, which is 8 years. You can do 2 terms, and then that is it. Just so you get it. And that's Riley. Riley did that. He put term limits on me because he didn't want me.
Did Tiffany just say, follow me, people? Is Tiffany taking my words? Is she? Yeah, she do listen to Cafe, but what I'm saying is, when I always say, follow me, people, follow me. Boy, you can't have that. Right?
Stay in office, but he didn't know. Once you put term limits on me, I'm going to come up out that seat, and I ran for your seat and took your seat. So I understand what you asked for, because sometimes what you asked for, you should have left well enough alone. I would still been a trustee. So you see what I'm saying? So anyway, let's back up. They want you guys to give them 16 more years. Some of them have, I think all of them about 8 years now. 4 years, and some of them got 8 years, right? So they are termed out. Termed out means it's time to go. It's time to hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back. It's that time now, right? But you guys have to make sure that you vote no to the term increase. Because they're increasing it. And they starting the clock over. This is what you don't understand. So they already did 8 years, right? Come on, simple math, y'all. They did 8 years. And if you go in there and you vote yes to term limits, guess what they get? Another 16 years. It starts the clock over. In this code, they still being transparent. So I told y'all, I can't say the word for it. This is my point of it. If they transparent, why they ain't educate y'all about it? Why they ain't talk to y'all about it? Why y'all didn't call a special meeting to go over it? To tell the public, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is our plan, blah, blah, blah. Because they full of you know what? And that's what I mean about politics. If you can trick them, you can beat them, right? That's what they do. So wake up, residents, because if you give them that, all of them up there on that board will have 16 more years. And I know y'all don't want that because guess what? Y'all fighting now. Y'all don't even want want the president to have 8 years, let alone 16 years. So why would you let local government constantly be the same? Nothing will ever change if it stays the same, correct? You want to turn it over and get more people. You want to get young people. You want to give people the opportunity to run for office. But if it's the same people that's in office, it will never change, right? And I give you some examples. You got Danny Davis, out there. You got a lot of people that's still in office. I'm just using one because, when you start naming, I like to talk about, I'm using an example so you can understand what I mean by y'all keep voting for the same person over and over again, and then y'all get upset about, hey, nothing changed. It's still the same. Or it's adequate. It's just not the same. You have to fix it, and only you can fix it. And some of y'all believe y'all vote don't count. It counts. Don't get me wrong. They do cheat. They do steal. They do election rig. They do all of that because I saw them do it during the caucus of December of 2024 when Napoleon, he wasn't winning no seat. I guarantee it. Not against me. And that's what I mean about them. They had to go get everybody to basically come up against me because they couldn't beat me. I had over 1,000 people outside in the cold. You can go ask different people.
She's still telling that 1,000 people in the cold lie. Womp, 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 womp. Tiffany is a big liar. And I really don't want to hear this because Tiffany is not talking about nothing. She did not say anything. She's just telling the people of Dolton how the process of voting go, that the majority of them already know. And the majority of the world knows. But she just needs something to rant about. But what she's not telling is why is that village in -5 mil in the hole, and she done ran our ass over there to Georgia. What she's not telling about where is them folks $1.9 million at that she cashed 251 checks. Where's them 251 checks anyway that you took in cash? What did you do with the money? See, Tiffany just wanted to get up here and rant, but she didn't really want to tell on herself. So she started talking about the voting process and not to make sure not to let the people, the administrations that's in office now over there at the village and at the township, get back in office. That's basically what she's doing because she don't like them. Because they done exposed her. Girl, we're going to listen to it a little bit more, but I'm tired of Tiffany.
They signed affidavits and everything. Courts and everything. And all this, y'all just swept under the rug. Because y'all was too scared to run against Tiffany, the people's mayor, the people's supervisor. Because y'all knew y'all couldn't beat me. That they didn't allow any other name on the ballot. And when I say any other name, I wasn't the only one running in there. Of course, y'all made it all about Tiffany Henyard that day. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. But it was several other people that was going to run for the seat. And that's what I mean about people just so scary. They didn't say a word because they didn't go on the ballot either. It was other people running for supervisors. It was other people running for trustees. It was other people running for all kinds of things. But they had it fixed to only have them people. And them bums over there in Dolton, they was in cahoots with the same bums over at Thornton Township. So you understand what I'm saying about the conspiracy. Because it was all of them together to try to remove the person, Tiffany, the only one, that was basically loving on the people. I did nothing but work for you. And I'm still working for you. For those that's calling me, asking me questions, telling me, Tiffany, can you tell me what...
Well, Tiffany claimed everybody is calling her, asking her for advice and all that stuff like that. Tiffany wasn't talking about nothing, family. I promise you. That's all she talked about the whole rant. She did not give anybody any excuse on all the money that's missing, but she loved to call other people bums while she stole $5 million. That's what the feds got on the subpoenas. So who really the bum? You went in there and cashed checks that wasn't even supposed to be cashed, 251 of them. So who's the bum? So Tiffany basically got online to do a rant. And that's basically what her rant was. She talked about how she agreed with Trump, that it's election rig going on because she seen them do it to her and things like that. She had no type of information on where those receipts are or where is the money. None of that. None of that. None of that. Next, Tiffany wasn't talking about nothing. And so Tiffany wants to be relevant now because she's shaking in her boots. Okay, so she says she's going to start coming on social media a lot more now because basically she's shaking in her boots and trying to give everybody janky excuses before the feds come and pick her up, basically. So next, now this woman right here, she's a Haitian woman, and she said that Black Americans are dirty. This is what she said, okay? And so let's check out the little clip, and I'm not going to even play all of it because I just, anyway, but as she was calling Black Americans dirty, she walked in there and sashayed in there with the most dirtiest spot in the room. Okay?
I'm Haitian.
She says she Haitian.
Why? Where you from? What's your background? You American? Dirty Black American?
Hey, what?
Huh? What?
Hey, what you
American? Black American? What?
No. Hold on. You said dirty Black American.
You heard that? You just asked me what I said. I did.
Why you said that?
Because that's what y'all are. Dirty Black American. She just said that? I did. A dirty Black American. I sure did. Because that's what y'all are.
Okay, so she said that's what y'all are. Y'all are dirty Black Americans, okay? Now, when this Haitian chick said y'all are dirty Black Americans, that's basically in their meaning that Black Americans are the trash of society. They are less than human. That's how they feel about Black Americans, you know? They've always felt like that. That's why we always said that it's dangerous when people that have the same skin color as you try to blend in with your culture, but they're really not your culture, but because they have the same skin, they can blend into your culture and cosplay as you, but they are really your enemy. Now, not all Haitians feel like this, but 97% of them do. Mm-hmm. And it's very dangerous when people can blend in and be right on the side of you, but they really don't like you. They have a deep envy for you. That's very, very dangerous. And that's why Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, are separating themselves so that people can understand and see the difference between people. No, that's not me. That's not my culture. That culture is something else. That's a Haitian. We are Black Americans. See, you have to separate the blend because all the disrespect and people will all lump it into one. And if people hadn't separated and used their own ethnic group, it's nothing wrong with identifying yourself as your own culture. Just like the first thing she said when she sat down. I'm Haitian. She's letting everybody know her culture. That is beautiful. That she's able to have pride in where she come from. She said, I'm Haitian. But when Black Americans say, we're foundational Black Americans. Oh, no. You see, when she said she was Haitian, nobody had any pushback. But when Black Americans say that they are Black American or foundational Black American, it's a lot of pushback. Unbelievable. But anyway, she sashayed up in there. But I want y'all to notice that when she comes in and says she's Haitian, nobody pushes back. Check it out. I'm just showing y'all the difference between our culture and their culture. They have a lot of hostility against Black Americans. Because when we say it, they call it divisive. When she say it, nobody in that room bats an eye. Because there's no problem with her identifying who she is. Okay? Check it out. No pushback at all when she says it. Listen. I'm Haitian. No pushback.
Where you from? What's your background? You American? Dirty Black American?
Hey, what?
Huh?
Hey, what you say?
American? Black American? What?
No. Hold on. You said dirty black American.
You heard that? You just asked me what I said. I did.
Why you say that?
Because that's what you are. Dirty Black American. She just said that? I did. A dirty Black American. I sure did. Because that's what y'all are.
Now, she repeated it. It was somebody in the background said, she really said that? She said, I sure did. Dirty Black American. Now, I don't know if this was just a play for click views and likes, because there's some people that do that. They just want to spark up some type of confrontation so they can go viral, okay? This could be a fake play. Then it could be real, okay? But we're going to talk about it anyway. But I don't keep talking about things that other groups of people say about Black Americans, because I know that it's because they want attention. Okay? But we're going to go over this anyway. Now, she walked in there and she said that Black Americans are dirty Black Americans while walking in there with the biggest nasty spot on her. Yeah, let's talk about it. Do anybody notice anything that says she's a dirty Haitian? Do anybody see anything on here that can show you that she's a dirty Haitian? Yeah, y'all see that while she's calling Black Americans dirty Black Americans, okay, I'm trying to figure out why she didn't have any respect about herself walking in there with that dirty ass spot on her. That's first off. Okay? Now check it out. Because old girl walked in there with a hickey on her neck. Okay? Now, yeah, I see it right here. Now, she walked in there with the biggest nasty bedroom mark on her that let everybody know that she was a bedroom chick about 24 to 48 hours prior to this interview. Okay? So she opened up her trout mouth while imitating Black women. If y'all notice, she was sitting there looking like a Black American woman. Someone that she's trying so hard to be. She didn't walk in there with her Haitian gear on. Why is that? You're calling Black Americans dirty while dressing, looking, got your hairstyle, trying to talk like us and everything else. So if we so dirty, why are you breaking your neck to look like a Black American? That's what I just can't understand it. With her pig feet neck. She had more layers on her neck. But then she had the little passion mark on her neck. Yeah, yeah, I see it. But she called us dirty Black American. Now, she wanted the world, she done sashayed in there with one of the dirtiest disrespectful marks on her neck. And that ain't no tattoo. I'm finna tell you right now, if it is a tattoo, that means that she needs to go find the person who put that on her neck and get her money back. Because it looked like they did it in the backyard and they fell asleep. So if it is a tattoo, it's a raggedy tattoo. It has no shape, form, no nothing to it. It's just all over the place like they paint splattered all over her neck. Okay, so she needs to go back and get her money if that's what she want to say that is. That old school, no, that's a hickey on her neck. And for her to know that she was coming to an interview, or if you're going to a job interview or something like that, and you got that on your neck, Black Americans know to either cover it and hide it because we want our appearance to look like we care about ourselves. And we know that coming to an interview of any kind, that's not appropriate. It only shows that you've been a bedroom toy in the past 24 to 48 hours. See, that's the difference. Yeah. No respect for herself at all. How dirty is that on her neck? How dirty is that? And around a bunch of dudes. No respect for herself. No class for herself. She didn't even have time. She didn't even take the time or take pride in her own appearance. So that means if she didn't take the time to care about her appearance and make sure she either put makeup on that or button her collar up or put on a turtleneck or something like that, if she didn't take the time to just care about her own appearance, that means she didn't take the time to wash her own ass. Or her feet. I bet your feet nasty. Yes. That's all that right there on her neck is giving. Is that she's nasty. She takes no time in her appearance. She cares nothing about her appearance. She cares nothing about her hygiene, because that is a part of hygiene. But she had the nerve to call Black Americans dirty, while sitting there trying to look like a Black American woman, carrying herself like gutter trash, but call us dirty. Wow. It's right there. That is not a tattoo, baby. Not round, just round and red. Look like it's a bite mark. Look like it's a bite mark. Yes. Look like it's a bite mark. Yes. Look like it's a bite mark. Right there. But she called us dirty. And why she didn't come in there? Why did she come in there dressed like Shannon up the street instead of coming in there dressing like Shabuka? Shabuka. Her name should be a Shabuka. Why she didn't come in there dressed like her Haitian culture? Why she come in there dressed like a Shannon, a Black American culture? Why would you want to duplicate and look like the very people you say are dirty? What's really going on? What's really going on? You know? And it's time. It's really time, because she didn't take not any time to see about her own hygiene. Just slap nasty, but called us nasty. This is the most disrespectful thing a woman can do. But see, because she's not of our culture, she don't know that when you go on interviews, or if you go to any type of job interview or this right here interview, that right there is supposed to be covered. So you tell me she didn't see it? So if you tell me she didn't see it, that means she ain't took a bath. So who the dirty one? Ain't even went to the mirror. Ain't even went to the water shower. That's what it's given if you say she didn't see it. So who really dirty? Who really trifling? Yeah. Yeah. But my thing is, people, we need to really stop taking a lot of disrespect. It's time for people, Black Americans, because see, this is going on a little bit too much. This is going on from old school. This is going on a little bit too much where we're hearing a lot of disrespect. I did hear one that had put out some threats on Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting to where these people are out of control. It's getting to where you could tell they have a deep, and like I said, not all, but the majority of them do. And I'm not going to keep saying that not all stuff. Okay? Because you notice right there, she didn't say not all Black Americans are dirty. She just said Black Americans are dirty. So I'm not going to keep saying not all. I give you what you give. So my thing is, we need to stop letting people do this. We need to stop letting these people threaten us over the internet and all that stuff and start doing things the proper way. Okay? Because a lot of Black Americans, yes, we report on this. But a lot of us need to also report this. Okay? Report this activity. This so-called disdain, these so-called threats and all that, this ill will. We need to start, we report on these things on social media, we talk about it and things like that, but we need to start reporting it to the Trump administration, to the feds, to Homeland Security, to DHS. See, we are American citizens. We are founded on this land. We are Black American citizens. We don't have to take this type of cruelty coming from other ethnic groups that we've let come in here and we have helped over here. They getting all type of food stamp funding, Medicaid, Medicare, all that stuff. Housing, free grants, free schooling, all that stuff with our tax dollars. And we sit up here and we listen to them do this to us all the time. We report on it, but not report it. If we report it enough, this behavior will stop over the internet. This old school talking. Yeah. It's time to start calling 1-800-TOM-HOLMAN. 1-800-TRUMP. 1-800-HOMELAND SECURITY. 1-800-FRAUD. 1-800-ICE. 1-800-FBI. Because we are citizens. And we don't have to take this disrespect and threats from nobody. Not as much blood, sweat, and tears Black Americans and their ancestors had put inside of these here United States. We couldn't go to their country and just do this all day, every day on their internet or in their streets. And people saying, I'm so tired of them saying it's about Black Americans, and I'm so tired of them threatening Black Americans, and I'm so tired. Pick up the phone and do 1-800-TOM-HOLMAN, 1-800-FBI, 1-800-HOMELAND SECURITY. 1-800-TRUMP. That'll stop all this. That'll stop all this, because then they will go on the radar. They might not get anything done to them right then, but they will then be on the radar for hate speeches and things like that. And then eventually they will have to go back where they come from. Yeah. So you just don't come in nobody's house and disrespect them and think that we supposed to kiki ha ha and leave it alone and continue to swallow it. It's not fair. Because we've did nothing but help and fight for them to come over here just to be treated like this from them. It's unbelievable and sad. It really is. It really is. Unbelievable and sad all at the same time. So, you know, I just don't understand it. She done came here, got a little green card. Her family got a little green card. She get to stay over here, whatever. Bought her some Temu teeth, and then off with the smart mouth about black Americans are dirty. And see, this is what's going on now. This is what's going on now. As y'all will see, that in the summer of 2025, Secretary Nome announced the termination of TPS programs for a lot of people that's here from another country. And as y'all will see, that the status of TPS is up. It will end March 17th, 2026. 60 days after the publication of the notice in the Federal Register alert type. Okay? So, they already registered. Some have TPS cards and things like that. And these are some of the ones who have it, who have TPS in this country. As y'all will see, designated country. And then these are the people. And she says she's Haitian, right? So it's 330,000 Haitians that's holding a TPS card right now. Yeah. And see, they get on these lists, a lot of them because of a lot of fraud or a lot of problems that the United States is having with these people inside of the United States. So by her saying this, doesn't do nothing but make it hard on her Haitians inside of America. Because this is a lot of why they are already on the list for their TPS to be removed. Because they're a problem inside of the United States. Constantly a problem. If it's not fraud, it's saying terrible statements about America or terrible statements about American citizens like black Americans. See, people need to understand that while they are on these internet, Haitians, Jamaicans, folks from Africa, whatever, other ethnic groups as well, when you're in here and you're doing fraud or you're taking and you're stealing or you're saying things that is very nasty to the citizens that foundated this land and things like that, you continue to be put on this list. Instead of sitting your ass back, shut up, be grateful that you're in here and do good for you and your family and leave black Americans out your damn mouth. That's not hard to do at all. And she just made it bad for everybody. And the thing about it is they won't even check their own folks. See, we check our people. Black Americans check each other. We don't get mad about it. We just check each other. We'll roast each other, play with each other and things like that. But when we get out of line real bad, we check each other. They don't. And therefore, things get worse and worse and worse. And then they wonder why they on this list in front of your screen. It's because of people like y'all homegirl, y'all Haitian homegirl, who made that statement a few minutes ago. Y'all didn't know? Yeah. So Haiti is on the list, and it's 330,000 who are on TPS cards right now, which will end next month. As y'all see right here, it will end March 17th, 2026. Okay? And it's no stopping that, because they done already did the federal court thing and all that stuff like that. And I could tell you now, it's going to be more than that. And as y'all will see, these are the different people that's inside the United States from another country that are on those TPS cards that will end in March. And Haiti is number 2. They have the most here. And then you'll see down here they also have Somalians as last. It's only 705 Somalians on TPS cards. Okay? Yeah. Yes. Now, let's go to this. Because I was down there in New Orleans, and it was just crazy that when we was down there, it was so many people that it was Haitians that was down there really spreading the word that Haiti, New Orleans is built off of Haitians. Okay, that Haitians built New Orleans, and that New Orleans have Haitian culture, and that the music in New Orleans and the food in New Orleans and all of that come from Haitians. And I'm like, what? It was a lady that had a booth down there doing Mardi Gras, and she was actually pushing this. And I was like, damn, they doing this? I mean, it's been so much. Remember, I told y'all another time I went to New Orleans because we had, a function down there on my other business I have. And we went down there to do some things. And I tell you, that's all you be hearing. It's like Haitians are now spreading the word deep down in New Orleans for the past 9 to 10 years that they are the ones who built New Orleans, put New Orleans on their back. New Orleans culture come from them and all of that. And that is not true. And then the lady gonna tell me, this Haitian lady who's running the booth down there at Mardi Gras, she gonna say, all you got to do is look it up. It's all over the place. We have articles, we have news segments on it, we have all that. And she started telling me different news articles or different news spots that I could listen to, so that I can understand that Haitians really did basically build New Orleans, or the culture of New Orleans is Haitian culture. Okay? And I'm telling her, no, it ain't. Oh, go listen to this, that. And I did that. And everything she told me to listen to, most of it, some of it is kind of true and some of it is not. So they are spreading a lot of untruth down there in New Orleans. And I'm tripping like, where are the Black Americans in New Orleans to try to squash this type of false information that's going on in New Orleans? Because I've been traveling back and forth to New Orleans for decades. And here recently, it has gotten worse with the Haitians saying that New Orleans culture is their culture. And their Haitian population has grew tremendously in New Orleans. Now we see why. But anyway, family, I did listen to that little thing, and I'm going to let y'all listen to some of it, and there was a lot of false in there, and then we're going to break down the truth. Okay? Because my roots are in Alabama and Georgia. And we have family in New Orleans. And so we know that this right here is not true. So y'all will see that it says Haitians, this is an article that Louisiana put out. Because they have been getting word that This is what the Haitians are saying down in New Orleans. So they put out an article and they said this: Haitians did not create Louisiana Creole culture or people. Okay? The common assumption today, is that Louisiana Creoles and their culture only exists, okay, because of the Haitians. And that's not true. You see down there, it says this is inaccurate. It is inaccurate. So we're going to listen to what this lady was saying. Oh, it's a lot of news articles and things like that. And you need to check it out and all this stuff right here. It'll tell you, yes, we are. The Haitians, this New Orleans culture is our culture. We did it. We built it. That's our music. That's our food. And that's our this. And that's our that. No, it ain't. See, the Somalians is around here saying that Minnesota was promised to them. Now the Haitians are saying New Orleans is theirs. And it won't be long, because I've been hearing, I was born and raised in New York, and I got family in New York. And they are saying in New York, my people are telling me, hell, the mayor is on the microphone on a podium saying immigrants built New York City. What? This new mayor that they got in New York City is now spreading in New York City that immigrants built New York City. So New York City looked like it's next to be claimed by immigrants built it. And oh, y'all know I'm going to have to break that down. And in here that I'm going to show y'all today is going to show y'all that immigrants did not build New York City as well. Okay? But I'm trying to focus on this New Orleans, because down there in Mardi Gras, they had booths and stuff, where they are sitting down, communicating with the public and trying to let the public know that the New Orleans culture and the Mardi Gras carnival and all that stuff come from Haiti. And I'm saying, no, it didn't. Me and that lady almost got into it down there. And she telling me to listen to this news article and this news thing. And, she said it's all over, the public media and all that stuff. So I said, I'll listen to it. And I listened to some of it, and I'm going to share some of it with y'all. But we also going to break down some of the false statements that they are saying inside of here, too. Okay? So, check this right here out, because I was tripping. I'm saying, so y'all gonna take full credit for New Orleans Mardi Gras, the carnival, their culture, their food, their music, and everything? They was gaslighting and lying about the history of New Orleans down there. That's all they was doing. And after I listened to that little article that she told me to listen to, I went right back to where her booth was set up at, and the booth wasn't there. She was gone. I said, because you probably knew I was going to come back. And then our little argument there got kind of heated, so you really didn't want to be bothered with my black ass anyway. That's what it was giving. You know what I'm saying? So, let's break this down real quick, family. And I want y'all to listen to what she told me to listen to. Now, don't y'all think that what's said on here is actually true. I just want y'all to listen to what they are spreading down there in New Orleans for the past 9-10 years. Okay? Check it out.
The connection in New Orleans is all around you, right? It's in the music, it's in the food, it's in the culture with the carnival, when people get married, when people are put to rest, when they die. So when New Orleans celebrating its tricentennial, I think it's only natural that Haiti play its proper role in that celebration. There's no denying it. I mean, we're kin. You can try to deny it, but, history would prove you otherwise.
Okay, so he said it's no denying that Haitian culture is New Orleans culture. Check it out again. Check it out.
The
Listen.
connection in New Orleans is all around you, right? It's in the music, it's in the food, it's in the culture with the carnival, when people get married, when people are put to rest, when they die. So when New Orleans celebrating its tricentennial, I think it's only natural that Haiti play its proper role in that celebration. There's no denying it. I mean, we're kin. You try to deny it, but history would prove you otherwise.
Wow. Okay, check out this.
Barbara feels most connected to Haiti. Tell me specifically about the Haitian side of your family.
Mine escaped from St. Mark, and some went to Jamaica, and some went to Cuba. And then they came to New Orleans.
What does it mean for you to have that connection in that time?
It helps me who I am.
This
and
is her
what I
talking.
do.
There are a lot of people like Barbara in New Orleans whose ancestors come from Haiti, but not everyone's as into genealogical research like Barbara. So I asked her, do you think that people in New Orleans generally know about this historical connection?
Yes. A lot has been written about it. I have written a lot about it. People do talk about it. So we keep perpetuating and saying it over and over and over to get the word out that, you are more Haitian here than anything because of the influx of Haitians.
So you hear her say, we keep telling people over and over and over again, and we keep emphasizing down here in New Orleans that New Orleans is more Haitian than anything. Okay? Okay. Check it out.
We're kin.
Listen to her again.
History would prove you otherwise.
Here it go.
Barbara feels most connected to Haiti. Tell me specifically about the Haitian side of your family.
Mine escaped from St. Mark, and some went to Jamaica, and some went to Cuba. And then they came to New Orleans.
What does it mean for you to have that connection in that time?
It helps me who I am, and what I do.
There are a lot of people like Barbara in New Orleans whose ancestors come from Haiti, but not everyone's as into genealogical research like Barbara. So I asked her, do you think that people in New Orleans generally know about this historical connection?
Yes. A lot has been written about it. I have written a lot about it.
Listen.
People do talk about it. So we keep perpetuating and saying it over and over and over to get the word out that, you are more Haitian here than anything because of the influx of Haitians that gave New Orleans its flavor and its culture.
Wow.
So we're more Haitian than anything.
By we, Barbara means native New Orleanians. And then as if it were a set.
So she's saying that Haitians gave New Orleans their flavor, the culture was built off the backs of Haitians and all that, their food, their culture. Ain't mentioned nothing about Creoles, Black Americans that was already in New Orleans. None of that. She didn't mention no other ethnic group but the Haitians. Okay? Check it out. This is what they are been saying for the past 10 years, very, very deep. And now I see why they are acting like they are down there in New Orleans, as if that is, like New Orleans is Haiti. Okay? Okay. Now, and I'm just reporting. Okay? Y'all hear it for yourself.
At the turn of the 19th century. The Haitian Revolution is the only successful rebellion by enslaved people in the Americas. And when it ended and Haiti became independent, thousands of white, free black, and enslaved people fled or were forced from the island. Most went to New Orleans and Cuba, or expelled from Cuba. We'll get deeper into all this in a bit. So they also came to New Orleans. This was 1809, when 10,000 Haitians...
Now notice that she gonna say the people who came when Haitian, it wasn't called Haiti then. It was called John de Couleur or whatever. That was what Haiti was called then. But the Haitian over there in Haiti got tired of being slaves, so they did overthrow, and then the Haitians took over what they now call Haiti. Okay? And then the French and the white tea man and black free men came over to New Orleans because they got ran up out of there. The Haitians ran the white tea and the French up out of there. Now, understand that key word, white tea and the French left Haiti because Haitians overthrew the government and they then took over. So it ran the white tea man and the French up out of there. So they came to New Orleans. When they got to New Orleans, black Americans, Creoles, some Indians were already there in New Orleans when the French men and the white tea men people came to New Orleans. Haitians didn't come with them then. I'm finna show it to y'all. But listen to how they reporting it, okay? All righty.
Haitians arrived and doubled the population of the city. Doubled. This is partly why so many New Orleans families today are people of Haitian descent, and why a Creole culture born from African and European...
No. A lot of people in New Orleans who are of Haitian descent, that's down there now, immigrated here. They didn't start here when that Revolution War was over with. And I'm going to show it and prove it to y'all. Okay? Only black Americans was in New Orleans and Creole. And then the French and the white tea men. And it was white American men over there in New Orleans too. So you had black American, white American. And you had your Creole. And you had some Indian thing like that. Okay. Not no Haitians. But when the French got ran out from over... in Haiti, it was some French and white tea people got ran up out of Haiti because Haitians overthrew the government. It was them who came over here, white tea man and the French, that came into New Orleans, and they grew the population along with the black Americans and the white Americans and the Creoles and stuff who was already in New Orleans, okay? Didn't know Haitians come. But listen to how they reporting this, and I'm going to show y'all.
In ancestry to find both places and bind them together, the island. Most went to New Orleans and Cuba. Then, a few years later, those same Haitian refugees that went to Cuba were expelled from Cuba. We'll get deeper into all this in a bit. So they also came to New Orleans.
No, they did.
This was 1809.
No, they
when
did.
10,000 Haitians arrived and doubled the population of the city.
No, they did.
Doubled. This is partly why so many New Orleans families today are people of Haitian descent.
No.
And why a Creole culture born from African and European ancestry
No.
to find both places and bind them together.
No.
There are these similarities in heritage and homelands, and there's also the architecture, religion, music, dance, food, carnival, and vulnerability to natural disaster. For all these reasons, Barbara believes Haiti is part of her city's identity, and says other New Orleanians do too.
Okay, so as y'all see, this lady is saying that's how it is, okay?
Saying this is
Now
what
listen.
remains of that connection, which makes it seem like something happened to this connection, something's changed. But when did this connection start in the first place? I asked almost every Haitian I met, where does this shared history begin?
Okay, so now, I'm just going to say this right here. I just let y'all hear what they were spreading, okay? They are spreading that the Haitians came over here after that they was overthrown, and in 1809 they was over here and all that kind of stuff like that, okay? They constantly keep saying that. You know, they really do. But let's check this out. Okay, let's check this out. They're saying that the buildings are like they did the buildings and all this. Now, New Orleans hotels and things like that, y'all know how New Orleans hotels and stuff like that looks. It looks like this right here, okay? Have the balconies and all that stuff in it. So Haitians are saying, see, they buildings look just like ours. This is Haiti, okay? They are saying that, yes, we did this because when we come to New Orleans, it has the same flavor as Haiti, and a lot of us Haitis are here in New Orleans, and we built New Orleans, and New Orleans is Haitians culture, okay? Not Creole culture, not mixed with Black American culture, not French culture. It was all about Haitian culture is what New Orleans is. They carnival, they Mardi Gras, they food, they everything, okay? Now, their music. Now, as you see, Haitian has buildings that looks like New Orleans. But you had the French and the white tea men that came from Haiti, which it wasn't Haiti then, but came from Haiti. And they had, when they helped build New Orleans along with Black Americans and Creoles and stuff, they used kind of the architecture that they remember in Haiti. But that's not Haiti coming over here and Haitians coming over here and building that. No. Just like Haiti and Africa and all that, they stole the way the structure of our buildings is designed. They took the blueprint of our buildings and went over there and made the same type buildings. But that don't mean we built their buildings. They just took our ideas. Okay? Now, move on. Haitians are saying all the dark areas in New Orleans, all the darkest shaded areas, was built and founded, and the culture and all that stuff come from them. Okay? No. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Okay? Because they were saying that they had went to Haiti and was asking people, did you know that Haiti is a part of New Orleans and all this stuff like this? And most of the people in Haiti said, well, no, we didn't know that New Orleans was part of Haiti, or Haitians built New Orleans and all that. Y'all didn't know over there in Haiti because it wasn't the truth. Okay? Now, a lot of people in Haiti, and these men too, they said they don't know nobody in New Orleans. When you ask people in Haiti, this lady here went over there in Haiti. When you ask the majority of people in Haiti, do they have any relatives in New Orleans? The majority of them say no. Okay? The majority say no. They say they have family like in New York City, Florida, and things like that immigrated here, but they don't have any relatives or roots or nothing like that they can say that their Haitian family is in Louisiana. Okay? Now, the Haitians who are in Louisiana immigrated here. Okay? Now, they immigrated to the United States. Check this out. Okay? This is what they're saying. Louisiana has largely forgotten Haiti, and Haiti has largely forgotten Louisiana exists. Okay? This is what this George man said. Now, he started putting up links, as you see. He started to list links that once exist between New Orleans and Haiti, links that are now gone. Those links are gone because that is not the truth. Okay? So it was a guy that was putting all these links in all over social media trying to say that Haiti built, and the culture of Haiti and all that stuff is New Orleans. So every time he would put that link up, that link would disappear. Don't know if the feds was making it disappear or what. But it was disappearing because the United States government was basically saying this is not true. So they're not going to leave up a link letting you continue to spread a lie. That's not how it went. And I'm finna tell y'all how it went. Okay? Now, and I'm going to do it in a short, quick way, but I'm hoping that y'all can get it. Okay? Now, check this out. The Threm, they call it the Threm neighborhood, founded by free people of color in the late 18th centuries, is considered one of the oldest, and it says African American, but it's supposed to be Black American, because you know they kept throwing African American onto us, and we are not African American, we are Black American. Okay, but that Threm neighborhood was founded by free people of color, okay, in the late 18th centuries, is considered one of the oldest Black American neighborhoods in the country, showcasing the deep roots and structural contributions of the Black community. Okay? Black community. And some of the French that came over here had kind of a dark, fair skin. So white people at that time in Louisiana, white Americans, they didn't know what to call them. So they was also calling them black people too. Okay? But they wasn't Haitian. Okay? When them French came over here from Haiti, when Haitians ran them out from over there, some of them had white tea skin, some of them had kind of like light skin. And the white tea people didn't know what to call them, so they was calling them like, hey, y'all consider black too, far as we know, okay? They didn't have that different distinguished like they do now. So they was just calling them, okay, y'all skin is much darker than ours, so we're going to consider y'all black too, okay? And Creole and all that stuff, okay? So all those different nationalities was there. You had your Creoles, now you got your French in New Orleans, and you got your Black Americans who were already there in New Orleans, and all of them just came together, and they made New Orleans culture what it is, that Creole culture, that French type feeling, that Black American type feeling, and things like that, okay? Not no Haitian, okay? Now, this is New Orleans. This is a building that's in Haiti. This is a building in New Orleans. But just because your buildings that you have in your country kind of is similar to the buildings that New Orleans have in our country, don't mean it's your culture. It just means somebody took the idea of your blueprint and did it there. But your culture ain't there. Haitian culture ain't there. No. That's just like, I'll tell y'all in a minute. Let me just get to this. Okay? Check this out. In the early 1800s, New Orleans had a rapid growing population of free people of color. Okay? That was that John de Couleur. That's this right here. Those are the ones who came from Haiti when the Haitians overthrew the government and they ran the white tea and the French up out of there. White tea and French came to New Orleans. Not no Haitians. Okay? Point blank, period. Okay? Now, you will see that now they are mixed with the Black Americans that's in New Orleans. Okay? And this was before like some Haitians were shipped over to the European side, but they wasn't shipped to the United States. And I'm going to tell y'all why they wasn't shipped to the United States. Haitians were not allowed to come inside of the United States. And I know y'all saying, Cafe, what you talking about? I'm finna explain to y'all in a minute, because our president at the time did not allow Haitians to come into the United States, not to be slaves, none of that. They didn't want them, period. Period. Now, the president allowed the French to come over. They allowed the white tea men from Haitians to come over. But what the president of the United States at that time didn't want is any Haitians over here. And I'm going to show y'all what he said, why he didn't want them over here. So, if you weren't allowed over here, how did you build New Orleans? Because by the time the United States allowed Haitians to come to New Orleans or to the United States, that was in by 1865. Everything in the United States was basically already structured off the backs of Black Americans who was already inside of the United States. Off of Black American backs who's already here in the United States and founded in the United States, okay? Along with the white tea man and the French and the Creole and things like that. Haitians was not allowed to come over here. So, as y'all will see, that once these French got over here, it was a lot of mixed race, okay? And that's true. It was a lot of mixed race because now inside of New Orleans, you have now the Creole, and then you have the French, and then you have Black Americans, and then you have some Indians, it's all mixed, okay? But it wasn't mixed with not one Haitian, okay? Now, many were of mixed race, often the result of union between the white man, black, not Haitian, black or mixed race women. Sometimes through the system, okay? So that's what I was telling y'all. When them French came up, Black Americans, Creoles, and Indians and stuff like that was already in New Orleans. Black Americans, white tea men, Creole, Indian, they was already in New Orleans, okay? Building, doing, structuring New Orleans. Creole was in their Creole modes. Black Americans, it was all a mixture, okay? Not Haitian. Then the French got ran out from Haiti. And then they brought their tails over to New Orleans, along with some white tea men that was in Haitian came over there. Because mind you, now that the Haitians got control over Haiti, the Haitians didn't want white tea people in their country. So them white tea people was getting it because the Haitians was really deleting white tea people once they took control. Okay? So check it out. Okay? As you would see, that those mixture of the French, Spanish in Louisiana, Black Americans, Creole, all those stuff had privileges in Louisiana, often enjoyed more privileges than the rest in the United States, such as owning property, businesses, and navigating the legal system. So Black Americans were business owners. They was property owners. All Black Americans wasn't slaves. That's throughout the United States, not just New Orleans. Okay? Yeah, some Black Americans that were enslaved, and then you had some Black Americans that was not. Okay? So, and Black Americans, the French, Creole, and all that, in New Orleans and throughout the United States, Black Americans, they were crucial to the economy. Okay? Working as skilled tradespeople, including carpenters, cigar makers, and merchants, and some were wealthy landowners or plantation owners. Okay? Now, this is all going on in New Orleans. You see that they was doing carpentry down there, making cigars, merchants, owning land, and all that stuff. Some were slaves, some were not, Black Americans, but Black Americans were already here. They did not come from no Africa. No, Black Americans were already here. Okay? And that's why I say I don't like for people to keep telling Black Americans that they got some type of African in them, because they don't. Black Americans do not have African ancestors in them. When you take your real DNA test, not this old false phony stuff that you do, and then send off somewhere and let them tell you what you are. No, right there you could take blood tests and right in your local doctor's office or whatever, it'll tell you exactly what you are. In about an hour, if you're in the emergency room or whatever like that, it'll tell you everything you got in you. And African American, damn, African is definitely ain't in my generation, not in my ancestors at all, not one drop. So people need to watch when they say that, because that also confuse people over there in Africa. That's why they keep saying, y'all part of us because y'all got our blood and y'all come from us. And if you got some black Americans that keep saying, yeah, we have some DNA of Africa in us, but it's been so melted down to we not y'all no more. That's confusing. You're actually saying you are a part of that, but you're really not. Some people might be. My ancestors and my blood was not. They was already here. They had no connections from Africa, wasn't bought over here from no Africa, was already here. So, let's go to this. Because this is when they was overthrowing the government in 1803 over there in Haiti, right? So remind you, family, stay with me, family, stay with me, okay? If y'all notice here, it says 1803. 1803, and the influx of refugees from Haitian free black population grew significantly when many settled in neighborhoods like Theme. Remember that Theme neighborhood I was telling y'all that is Black American neighborhood? That is where the French and the white tea men and things like that went. But in 1803, okay, it wasn't Haitians that came over here. It was the French, because Haitians wasn't allowed to come over here in 1803. And let me tell you how we know this. Check this out right here. And as you see right here, it was over 10,900 free people of color in New Orleans in the 1860s. See, the 1860s, it was about 10,000 in New Orleans that was free. Black Americans, okay? Always have been. Because, like I said, all black Americans weren't slaves, okay? You had some that were, some that weren't, okay? They were freemen. Now, as y'all see, in the 1860s, that's when a lot of Haitians was allowed to come over. But in that 1803 era, right here, 1803, they was not allowed to come over here. And that's when they claimed they came over here and did a whole lot of building. But this president, Jefferson Thomas, he did not allow Haitians to come over here. It says it right here. He was the president between 1801 to 1809. Now remind you, Haitians overthrew their government in 1803. They telling people that in 1803, when they overthrew their government over there in Haiti, that a lot of Haitians came to Louisiana. No, they did not. This man was president up until 1809. So in 1803, when they overthrew the government, they wasn't allowed to come over here. Just the French and the white tea men that was in Haiti. Okay? Not Haitians. Let me show you. United States President Thomas Jefferson. Yes. Thomas Jefferson said, United States President Thomas Jefferson, the United States cut off aid to Haiti and instead pursued a policy to isolate Haiti, fearing that the Haitians' revolution That's that 1803 revolution where they overthrew the government and Haitians took over Haiti and booted the French and the white tea people out of there. Okay? But Haitians wasn't allowed to come because the president said that he was fearing that Haitians' revolution would spread to the United States. Stop. He didn't want Haitians over here at all. Now, remind you, black Americans are already in the United States and in New Orleans. Creoles are over in New Orleans. Black Americans is over there in New Orleans. White Americans is over there in New Orleans. Indians over there in New Orleans. Now the French done came over there to New Orleans. And some old white tea men done came over there to New Orleans because they got ran up out of Haiti. Okay? But the president allowed that for the French and the white tea men to come over here. But not no Haitians. Okay? And the reason why? He didn't like the way they overthrew the government over there. They couldn't be trusted, is what the American president said. He said he was fearing what they did over there. These concerns was, in fact, founded, and the Haitian state was more concerned with its own survival than exporting revolution. So what they said is that he didn't want to fool with Haitians over there because they was more in the mindset of taking over stuff. So he didn't want them to come over here and try to take over America. He didn't want them to try to come over here and take over Louisiana like they doing now. He didn't want them to come over here and try to take over Louisiana. And he didn't want them to come over here and taint the minds of the black Americans who were already here. Because he felt like if they come over to America, they going to start whispering in black American ear and tell them how black Americans can overthrow the United States government because Haitians just did it in Haiti. So he was like, nah, I don't want them near my black Americans that's here because they might taint the minds of the black Americans that's already here. And I'm not having that. They're going to try to overthrow some stuff here. Either they going to try to overthrow the United States or they're going to try to convince the black Americans that's here in America and try to get them to join them to overthrow America. And the president just felt like Haitians could not be trusted. So he did not allow them to come in here. So this thing about right after the Revolution War, the Haitians came over here by 10,000 and 50,000 and all that, that's a lie. The president says it himself. The United States president says it himself. He didn't want them over here, and he made sure that they didn't come over here because he didn't want no problems. He said they really wasn't, he said he would do business with Haitians. But at the time, Haitians wasn't really at the mindset because they had just through the government. They wasn't in the mindset to do like no real business like other countries was doing with the United States. They was basically focusing on how they can overthrow some stuff. The way they overthrew their own government over there and took over Haiti. But they took over Haiti back then in 1803, but then turned around later on, centuries later, and lost it to the white tea people anyway again. What? So, as you see, he didn't want them over here. And then you'll see right here it says, Nevertheless, Jefferson grew even more hostile, that's the president, after Haiti and all them had started ordering the deletion of whites remaining after they took over that government, okay? And reimposed slavery of the French defeat, okay? So what he's saying is they started getting word here in the United States that when the Haitians overthrew the government in Haiti, and then they ran the French and the white tea men up out of there, the white tea men and the French who wasn't able to leave, the Haitians started deleting them because they didn't like white tea people. And that's understandable because the white tea people and the French had them enslaved for so long. But when they got together, the Haitians got together and said, we tired of this. We finna overthrow this and we gonna take over. And that's exactly what they did. Well, that's when the French got their tails away from there and the other white tea men got their tails away from there and they ran to New Orleans. But the French that was left in Haiti and the white tea men that was left in Haiti that probably couldn't get out of that country quick enough, the Haitians started deleting them. Because the Haitians did not like the white tea people because the white tea people had them enslaved at one time. That's understandable. Not understandable. What I'm saying is I'm trying to give y'all the mindset of how they say the Haitians was thinking at the time, the reason why they was ordering the deletion of the French and the white tea people. Okay? So, I'm just saying, Haitians didn't come over here. And this is why, that's a lot of why President Thomas Jefferson had banned Haiti from coming over here. And as y'all see, Jefferson refused to recognize Haiti independence, that they overthrew the government. He refused to. Okay? And they had it in the federal government that they couldn't come over here. Now, the French, France, and all that stuff, they recognize Haiti as a country, but not the United States. Okay? Haiti would have to wait until 1862 for the United States to recognize Haiti's status as a sovereign and independent state, a nation. Okay? So, they were not allowed to come in here. And that president had that on paper even after he got out of office in 1809. Now, this here overthrow happened in 1803. The president was in there to 1809. 6 years after they overthrew the government. And Haitians could not come over here. So, this thing about, after the Revolution War, after they did that war and overthrew the government and the French left and then the white tea men left and a whole bunch of Haitians came in with them. No, they didn't. It's on paper that the president said he didn't want them here because of the way they overthrew the government. So, see, sometimes you have to, a lot of things you look up online is kind of twisted and not telling the truth. But when you go down into the library and the archives and stuff, if you go to the archives of a lot of things, it will tell you exactly how things happen. And I found this, and it's not telling a whole lot of it, but it is telling some that we had already knew in history. And by us being foundational Black Americans whose ancestors was already here in these here United States, it's easy for us to know the history because our parents and our ancestors passed this type of history down to us. So no, that tells you in itself, this man did not allow Haitians over here. So, New Orleans, culture, music, the structure, the building, all that stuff, they food, all that stuff is Creole, who was here, Black Americans who were here, some of the French who were here, white tea men who was here, not Haitian. This man on the screen said it himself, signed it into law himself. He did not want Haitians over here. It was about 1860 before they started bringing Haitians in to be slaves. And most of them didn't even come to America. Most of them went to the Europeans and all that stuff. And by 1860, when some of them did come over here, a handful of them, 1860, America was already built off the backs of Black Americans who was enslaved. Come on now. Come on now. In 1764, the population of Black American descent was already here. And check this out. While the total population was roughly 2.1 million, a significant portion of enslaved, the majority of them was in the South, Black Americans, but also in the northern colonies like New York, okay? And that's what I wanted to show y'all about this New York, because it shows this was in the 1700s. Haitian was still up under the belt of the French then, because remind y'all, the French did not get overthrown in Haiti until 1803. This says 1764. So while Haitians were still up under slavery, up under the French and other white tea men over there in Haiti, which it wasn't called Haiti then, it was called John de Coulaire. Over there, they was over there then, because they were still up under the French's belt of slavery in the 1700s. Because mind you, Haitians didn't overthrow their government until 1803. So in the 1700s, Black Americans was already here, and it was about 2.1 million of us already over here in the United States building up some stuff, building up Louisiana as well. Not no Haitian. Come on now. Wow. Wow. And then you'll see right here a Black American woman named Lucy Terry in 1764, because she was a freeman. She wasn't never no. I told y'all a lot of Black Americans in the United States were not slaves, but a lot of them were. And in 1764, a Black American woman named Lucy Terry, she had written a poem called Bar's Fight. Y'all see it right there. She was recognized in 1764, Lucy Terry, recognized as one of the earliest Black American writers, had also written her poem Bar Fight in 1746. 1746. Black Americans was here. So how did Haitians build New Orleans when Black Americans was already here in the 1700s? We done told people that Black Americans were here in the 1700s, because me and my family trace our ancestors here in these here United States in 1700s. And we go back farther than that. So don't tell me my family is from no Africa. We don't have African DNA blood in our bodies nowhere. And a lot of other people don't either. And then there's some that might have it. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for my ancestors and my blood. Okay? So, how did Haitians build New Orleans and build the culture of New Orleans and the music of New Orleans and the carnival of New Orleans and all that stuff in New Orleans when they wasn't even here then? They were still up under the belt of the French. You talking about these slave trades and all that. In 1803, they had the slave trade. Yeah, they had the slave trade. But like I said, I'm telling y'all right now, the president said, you have all the slave trades you want, as long as you don't bring no Haitians over here. They ain't allowed over here because I think they're going to try to overthrow the United States, or I think they're going to try to taint the minds of the Black Americans who are already here. No, let's leave it like that. And he signed it into law, and it was like 1860s before they was allowing Haitians to come over as slaves. And they said most of them was kind of sick and had a lot of sickness and illness going on, to a lot of them passed on. They didn't have generation here. It's like the handful that was allowed to come over here when they were able to come over here in the late 1860s. Not 1803, 1860s. Black American had already built that stuff up down there in New Orleans. Creoles and French and all that. I mean, not French, but Black Americans, Indians, and all that stuff had already been working on New Orleans even before the French started. It was some Frenchies that left New Orleans to go to Haiti before Haiti even got overthrown. Because once they saw that, oh, the French got control of Haiti in the 1700s and all that, it was some French that left Louisiana going there and making some money off of them and all that stuff. But when they overthrew that government in 1803, the Haitians ran them up out of there, and some of those French came back to New Orleans. But it wasn't no Haitians. Point blank, period. Okay? Okay? Now, let me say this, because I just proved to y'all that. Okay? Now, they always saying, oh, this is New Orleans, is our culture. We did this. I just proved that wrong. Okay? Now, history proved it wrong. Okay? Now, this, that, and people be forgetting that we are Black foundational Black Americans. We know our history. We know this here country better than any other people in their own country. We know about our country just like they know what's going on in their country, or supposed to know what's going on in their country. It seems like they don't know what's going on with them, their ancestors, or their country, because they sitting up here trying to tell us that their ancestors came over here in 1803, and the president clearly said he didn't allow them to come over here in 1803. So either they folks lied to them, had to lie to them. We already know that that was the truth because we was already founded here, and our ancestors said that was true. Okay? So just because their ancestors lied to them, don't mean that they get to come over here and try to take over New Orleans and try to lie to us. No, your ancestors must have lied to you, because that's not how it went. You did not build no culture in no New Orleans. It was Creole, Black Americans, and stuff like that. It was not y'all. Y'all weren't even allowed to come over here. Not in New Orleans. Not in America at all. The president didn't trust you. Okay? And he signed it in the law till it took damn near to 1860 before y'all could even come over here. By that time, everything was already built off the backs of Black Americans. So, anyway, where was they at when we was having the civil rights marches and stuff like that down there in Louisiana? See the Louisiana Rights Trail? You know, so they said, oh, we did this. We did that. See, that's another thing they tell you, that all that right there is not true. Because if so, why wasn't, if New Orleans was built and all that, the culture came from Haiti and all that, and they had built Haiti and they was here and all that, why wasn't they marching in the 1960s? Where were they at? They wasn't here. Where were they at? Louisiana was going through this. Where they was at? Can somebody tell me where was they at? Haitians, where were you at when Black Americans was out here doing this in New Orleans in 1950s and 60s? Marching for their rights and their freedom and everything else. Where was y'all at? Where was y'all at? Marching for the rights of Black Americans. Where was y'all at? Because y'all seem to be missing here. I'm trying to figure out, how do somebody say that they did something, built something, and they are the backbone of that and all that, but then they couldn't be found when all this right here was going on? Know why they couldn't be found? Because they wasn't here. They weren't even allowed to come in here then. Black Americans had to fight for immigrants to even come into the United States. But look how they talk about us. They call us dirty Black Americans after we done fought to let them up in here. Where was them Haitians at? After the Civil War, it would take more than law and more than 100 years to make rights real. It would take the bravery and fearless of the Black Americans. Where was the Haitians at? Where was y'all at when displaced New Orleans needed y'all and all that stuff for marches? Y'all wasn't nowhere to be found. Where was y'all at? Over there in Haiti. But then when we fought, Black Americans fought to get y'all over here. You get over here and done took credit for the whole doggone shebang. What? This is Black American Heritage Trail. Okay? Black Americans. Okay? Where was y'all at? When Black Americans fighting for all this civil rights and stuff like that, where was they at? Where was y'all at when they was refusing to get up out the seats down there in New Orleans, Louisiana, and all that? Where was y'all at? It says here y'all wasn't there. It says here y'all didn't build it. It says here that's not your culture. It says here that that's not your music. It says here that's not your food. Y'all ain't nowhere to be found. Where was y'all in the kitchen making this so-called culture of food y'all say is y'all culture in New Orleans? Where was y'all at? Because see, these people here sitting at the lunch table, refusing to get up. Why y'all wasn't sitting down there with these Black Americans fighting for Louisiana? Oh, y'all waited till it was all over with? And then when we fought to get you in here, then you was going to tell us how really Louisiana is yours and not Creole and not Black American and not French and all that. Come on now. Come on now. What was y'all at right here? There you go. Civil rights movement. Louisiana. Where was y'all at in New Orleans? There you go right there in New Orleans. They were battling. Them Black Americans was battling. Yes, Black Americans all through these here United States was battling for the freedom, for the rights, for the right everything, and fought for the right of immigrants to come up in here. Where was y'all at? I'm going to need y'all to show me. I'm going to need y'all to show me. Because see, y'all the one that keeps saying New Orleans is y'all culture. No, it ain't. Y'all ain't built nothing. Y'all ain't got no culture. Just because some of the French came over here and told Black Americans and white tea Americans and stuff that, hey, they got this type of building over there, over here, over there. Y'all might want to, use this plan and let's build that. Okay, well, they used y'all idea for a building, but y'all damn sure wasn't over here building it, nothing like that. You know, they made Creole food, Black American food, French food, mix it all together. You got New Orleans down up in there. Wasn't no Haitian food. Come on now. Stop playing. Stop playing. Where was y'all at in these marches? Because they needed more shoes on the ground. They needed more boots on the ground. Where was y'all at? Because I can't find you. Yeah. Where was y'all at? Where was y'all at? Where was y'all at when the Black Americans were doing all this here fighting? The kids too. Our Black American kids. All our ancestors was out there. And we still fighting right today. Yeah. Fighting so that people don't try to erase us from our history. That's not going... It's no way we can let people come and disrespect our ancestors like our ancestors didn't even exist. Like the United States started in the 2000s. No! Now, you see how New Orleans is. This is a spot in New Orleans. This is a spot in Haiti. Okay, just because the French or somebody took y'all ideas on some buildings, that don't mean y'all built it. Just like the Somalis stole the United States money, 30 bill out of Minnesota, and they stole that money, and they took that money back over there to Kenya, and they started building these buildings. They got these buildings ideas from America. So Somalis stole the Minnesota's tax dollars, the ones who fraud them. They took that money, went over there to Kenya, and this is Kenya, and they built these here buildings that looks exactly like the United States buildings. So they took the floor plan of buildings that the United States have, and they stole our tax dollars and built them same type looking buildings over there in Kenya. Do that mean that black Americans built these buildings? Nah. Only thing we say is, damn, they done stole our money and then went to Kenya with it and built up some buildings that look just like ours. But we can't claim that we went over there and we built these buildings. They built it with our money, but we didn't build them. We can't take credit for that. So why in the hell is y'all trying to take credit for what the hell we got over here in America? I'm just asking a question. Yeah. See, this is Kenya. The Somalis took all our money and took it to Kenya and built these here buildings that looks identical to the United States buildings. Yeah. They stole our idea, but we didn't build it. So it's the same way with Haiti. When Haitians or whatever, they say that New Orleans got the structure. This is Haiti. No, it's not. The French probably took y'all ideas and flopped some buildings. Creoles probably took your ideas, flopped some. Black Americans took some ideas and flopped made and built those buildings that kind of similar to Haiti. But y'all didn't have no parts in it. Just like we didn't have no parts in building these here buildings over there in Kenya that the Somalis stole our money and built these buildings over there in Kenya these past 8 years. They've been doing it. See, this is what the Somalis built in Kenya. That's our money. Those buildings, we got a lot of buildings in the United States that looks just like this building right here. But that don't mean we built it. No, it don't. No, it don't. Yeah, see the buildings that they got in Kenya look just like ours, but we can't take credit for building that. But it is our money that they took and stole and took it over there and did that. Yeah. Now, another thing down there in New Orleans, the Essence Fest about broke, okay? Yes, they about broke. They can't even fork up $400,000. Essence Fest is in trouble. They saying they don't even know if Essence Fest gonna even start this year. Essence Fest supposed to be in July, the first week of July 4th and all that stuff like that. They saying that it don't even look like Essence Fest might happen unless these here Kenyan and Liberian owners, from another country, they bought Essence Fest from black Americans. Okay? And when they bought Essence Fest, everybody thought that they was going to keep the black American culture. They bought Essence Fest around 2018, and he is Liberian history, and then his CEO right next to him, she have Kenya background. Okay, she's from Kenya. Well, when they bought Essence Fest in New Orleans, and the word is they bought Essence Fest because they all do consider that New Orleans is basically American Haiti. Okay? And so they was going to change it to kind of cater to more of the Haitian and Kenya crowd and, Jamaican crowd and things like that, and throw the black American culture up out of Essence and replace it with theirs. And that's what it was given. Because we seen some of last year, and I was like, what is this? We went, and it was like, Jollof versus Gumbo, and Jollof versus... What? Why is we doing this? So we saw that they was trying to do a competition between black Americans and Creole and against them. And we was like, this ain't going to work because they done tried to throw black American culture clean out of Essence Fest. That's what it was given. Well, now they in trouble. Because see, what you can't do is remove the black culture out of Essence Fest and replace it with your culture and think that it's going to work. No, Essence Fest was only successful because of Black Americans. Well, when you threw the Black Americans out the window and tried to replace it with yours, it went to the dump. Yeah. Instead of just buying it and keeping like it is and gather money off of that. No, we trying to switch this thing. That's what it was given. So they about broke, because they probably not be broke, but what I can say is the city is saying that these people here owe $400,000 and they ain't paid up their debt, and they also said that they owe some vendors as well, and they owe a vendor $1 million, and they owe the convention center that does the Essence Fest, they owe them $450,000, and they said that the Essence people have gave them $50,000 on that, which leaves a balance of $400,000. Okay, but as y'all see, old chick there who's from Kenya, she was the CEO of Essence. Okay, and she resigned now. She departed in July 25, 2025. Okay, so right after Essence Fest last year, for some reason she resigned. Yeah. That was the one I just showed y'all. Yeah. But the dude still owns Essence Fest, and his name is Dennis, and he owed $400,000 to the convention center, and one of those vendors said he owed them $1 million. And then they're trying to get money from the city of New Orleans, but they're saying, no, you got to handle all your debts first before we can even give you any type of loan advance. And that's another thing. See how when all this came out, we found out that they gets money from the city to help them throw this here Essence Fest. Well, damn, they said y'all made 46 meal last year. Why y'all can't just use some of them 46 meal that y'all made from Essence Fest last year and pay to do your own Essence Fest? Why is y'all 400,000 in the hole anyway with the city or with the convention center? Because you see right there, they said that they owe them 400,000 to the convention center and over $1 million to the production company for the 2025 Essence event. What? So they said that puts in jeopardy the 2026 Essence event that's supposed to be coming up in July. Wow. Well, see, that's what happens when you try to replace Essence, which is a Black culture event, with a Haitian event. Ain't gonna work. Or an African event. Put it that way. Not gonna work. It's not gonna survive. Not in the United States. Now, y'all might have to move that over there in Africa, and y'all might accumulate a hell of a lot of money. Yeah. So, the 2026 impact. These unpaid long-standing debts are complicating efforts for the festival to secure necessary state funding for the 2026 event scheduled for July. So see, they want state funding from the state. And you see how quick these people get fundings from their state? And it's hard for Black Americans to get funding. But see, they was thinking that they could get funding even with being in debt. And the state is saying, no, we can't give you nothing until you pay off this debt. And then we could talk about probably trying to help you fund this 2026 Essence event. But my thing is, they were so used to getting funding. This is what is given. This is my opinion. They were so used to getting funding till none of this we never heard of none of this. But when Trump got in there and Trump put the crack down on all this funding, all this immigrant funding and all that right there, and a lot of this funding came to a halt, Now all of a sudden, everybody say they need money. Wow. Now they say that Essence Fest made $46.2 million in tax revenue. So where is the $46.2 million that y'all made off of Essence Fest last year? Okay, where's that at? Y'all can't pay $400,000 and y'all made all that money last year. Now they are saying that the festival, when Black Americans owned it, Essence was raising about $2 million. That was in 2009 and 2010. See, when Black Americans had it, Essence Festival was accumulating about 200 mil. Yes. And more than 400,000 people was attending in 2010. But see, that's when Black people owned it. That's when the Black culture stayed Black culture. That Essence Fest was bringing in about $200 million just for about 4 days. Okay? They only bringing in 46 mil. That's a hell of a drop. That shows you that Essence Festival is flopping because they trying to remove Black culture out of it. And when you try to remove Black culture out of what Black culture founded, you're going to flop every time. Yeah, see that? See, when you remove Black culture from it, you'll flop every time. Because Essence was Black culture. Essence was Black culture. See, you can't remove Black culture and then replace it with your culture. No, you got to stick with what works for it. It was founded off of Black culture. It celebrated Black culture. You have to keep it like that. You can't come in and say, okay, we gonna buy it and we gonna put our culture in it. It's gonna flop. It's gonna flop every time. It's gonna flop. This is the essence. This is the essence. Yes, this is the essence. That is the essence. See, the first year when Essence first started, they made 100 mil in the early 2000s. Then after that, it kept growing and growing and growing until they was making about 300 mil annually every year. So they made 100 mil their first year. And then it started growing, and they was making up to 300 mil to 400 mil every year when it stayed Black culture. Yes. But soon as they bought it in like 2018, as soon as they bought it, and then they tried to switch it and take Black culture out of it and try to ease in their culture, and then talking about Joe Loft versus jambalaya and all this stuff like that, it just went to the dumps. That's the Black culture. This is the Black culture right here. But they came in to switch it, and it ain't look like it panning out too good. But my thing is, that the only people, see, when I told y'all the truth about this New Orleans thing, the only people who are going to get mad about that because you're speaking truth is the people who love living a lie. Let me repeat that. The only people that will really get mad about us telling truth about New Orleans are the people who are really living a lie. See, a liar's worst enemy is someone who has good memory. See, some people come over here, they get a fresh bath, new teeth, and they don't know how to close their mouth, and they start spreading lies and trying to take over the joint. Okay? And that is not going to work. Point blank, period. I can't stand for somebody to come in our house and get the biggest bowl of collard greens, and they didn't pitch in 50 cents. But then, gonna say they made the greens, bought the greens and everything. What? No, you didn't. You came in here and leached. That's what it was. Coming in here with them junky stunts. Yes. You know, and black Americans can peep snake game 40 miles away. You can't run game on black American about their own soil, about their own country, about their own foundation. You can't run game on black Americans like that. Just like we wouldn't be able to run game in somebody else's country. We can't claim we did nothing in nobody else's country. But everybody feel comfortable enough to come over here and claim what our ancestors have done. Claim our ancestors' blood, sweat, tears. Wow. Entitlement creates resentment. And we done gave and fought, our ancestors fought for immigrants to come over here, and then they will sashay inside the United States and then take credit for our food, our music, our rap, our building, our culture, everything. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out, why are Africans, Jamaicans, all them Haitians and all them, they'll flee from another country. And I'm not going to even talk about how their country look, why that girl talking about black Americans are dirty. It's no need to go into that. I'm giving old school knowledge and tea, okay? But my thing is, why are some Africans, not all, and I said I wasn't going to keep saying that not all stuff. If it don't apply to you, hey, I'm not talking to you. If it do apply to you, I'm talking to you. But anyway, why are some Africans and Jamaicans and all that stuff fleeing from their country? Then they'll come to this country and tell black Americans their history. What is going on with that? We never go to another country and try to tell those people about their history and about their ancestors. Why are these people coming over here telling us about our ancestors and our history? Wow. The Chinese don't do that. China, Japanese, other ethnic groups like that. They never battle back and forth with black Americans about black Americans' ancestors and the black American culture and the black Americans founded inside of this land. Like Japanese people, Korean people, and things like that, they never do that. It's only African people that come over here and do that. The dark melanated skin ones come over here and do that. Why is that? And they don't understand that the more they do it, the more the government start putting them on that list to be banned to come from coming over here. Instead of just sitting back and relax. See, some of those tainted ones make it bad for the good ones that don't even think like this. And the sad part is the ones who say they don't think like this don't even check the ones who do think like this. So that makes them complicit. And then all of them get the bad end of the stick by getting a lot of things revoked and getting banned from the United States and all that type of stuff. Wow. Wow. It's something about them that is obsessed with black Americans so bad. And they are so obsessed to erase the history of our ancestors and us and our foundation to this land. It's like they think about Black Americans 24/7. Why? Why? We never had a problem with Black History Month. All of a sudden, see, before the border was flooded and a lot of people got in here, we never had a problem with Black History Month. White Americans was okay with it. Hell, the United States made that for Black Americans. Here y'all go. We never had a problem with this. Black History Month been going on for decades. We have not had a problem with nobody trying to dog us about we having Black History Month. Not until some Haitians, Africans, whatever, Jamaicans, whatever, they got in here, and all of a sudden they trying to remove that, or they mad that we have that and all that. Wait a minute now, this shit was going on before y'all even got in here. How y'all just sit back and shut up? We don't complain about what type of holidays y'all have in y'all country. Why are y'all over here complaining about the holidays in the United States? Just trying to erase everything, remove everything, try to be the replacement of everything. All that. That is not going to work. Wow. And we don't do anything to these people. They just feel like, hey, they can replace us. And that could never happen because we are the foundation of America. You cannot replace that without getting rid of America, period. And it looks like a lot of them are trying to do that too, because it looks like a lot of them are trying to take over America, but that's not going to happen either. So that's all I had to say about that right there. Unbelievable. But y'all, to stop all this disrespect, to stop all these threats coming from people from another country that's inside of our country, start doing the 1-800-TRUMP, 1-800-ICE, 1-800 Homeland Security. I don't care if they saying something on social media, off social media, whatever. Yeah, we are citizens of this here land. Our ancestors put blood, sweat, and tears in this land. We don't have to take disrespect. See, America made it very easy for us citizens to just pick up the phone and make a complaint, or open up our email and make a complaint. And if we do that, all this disrespect will soon stop. And if it don't stop, it will slow down so much till we'll barely hear it. So, that's all I have to say about that. And I want to say thank you to Jerry Lipcomb for donating to the channel. Thank you so much, Jerry K. Lipcomb. Your generosity is so much appreciated. We thank you so much. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you just for supporting Cafe of Knowledge, because Jerry K. Lipcomb, he is like one of the sponsors of Cafe of Knowledge, because he will just donate. And I appreciate it, Darlene Chestnut as well. But I want to say a special thanks to Jerry K. Lipcomb for your donation in our last video. And thank you so much. And for you all who do donate, you're like sponsoring that episode. And I do appreciate it. And I'm going to start recognizing y'all donation as sponsoring that show, for that show that you donated it. So thank you so much. Sending loves and hugs to everybody. Sending loves and hugs to the Knowledge family. Love y'all. Gain knowledge to prevent blockage. And we all know what that means. The more you know, the harder it is for anybody to block y'all from your goals and success. Bye-bye.